Arrays are a very important construct in any programming language, and same is true with JavaScript. So let us learn about arrays. So what is an array? An array is a special variable which can hold more than one value at a time. So unlike a string or a number or a boolean which holds a single value at a time, an array can hold more than one value at a time. And in an array, values can be accessed by using their index number. So let's understand this with a few examples. So let me define an array. So let me say const colors is equal to red, blue, green. So colors here is an array. It's an array in which there are three colors: red, blue, green. So three elements or three values are stored in it. Similarly, I can define numbers, and it could have the values say 2, 5, 10, 6, 4, 3. So it's got say 6 values in it. Or I could say const data is equal to, and it could have the values say Jack 25, Jack is working, and he is right now not in Delhi, say. So different kinds of values here. Let me now print them. So I can say console.log colors, and let's run this code. So this is how it shows me. So it has three arrays, three elements. At the 0th index is red, at the first index is blue, at the second index is green. How could we have accessed it? So I could have also said console.log colors 0. So now I am accessing the element at index 0, and now if I run it, I get red. So at the 0th index was red, so I get red. If I say 1 here, what do I get? I get blue. I could have done the same thing. I could have say done numbers here, and I get this array. It has 6 elements as we can see, and at index 1, so at index 1 is 5, so this prints 5. I could do the same thing with say data, and let me say print index 2, and I get this has 4 elements, and at index 2 is data. We could have also declared something which we call as an empty array. So this is an empty array. So within these square brackets, it does not have any value in it. So if I print empty array, what will it give me? So if I print empty array, what will it give me? It's a null element. And if I try and access its second element, let's see what happens. It gives me undefined because there is no second element at index 2, so it gives me undefined. We could have also declared an array like const say arr is equal to new array, and given it say the values say Jack, Bob, and they are learning say JavaScript. Now if I print this array, what do I get? This has created a new array with these 3 elements, and just like we were accessing the elements, I can access the elements of this. Now there are certain other properties associated with arrays. The most important one is length. So let me say console.log colors.length. So length is basically the number of elements in that array. So in this array colors, we have 3 elements, so it prints 3. Similarly, if I would have said console.log numbers.length, that should be 6 because this has 6 elements. If I change the number of elements here to 5 and run it, this should give me a 5. Like we did, we can also access the numbers and the elements and print them. So I can say let len is equal to colors dot length. I'll put a for loop for let I is equal to 0. Why 0? Because it starts from the 0th index. I less than len. Why less than len? Because the last index will be len minus 1 if it starts from 0. I plus plus. And I can just say console dot log colors I. So now when I run it, I get red, blue, green. I could have done the same thing with numbers. So let's do that. Let me change this code to numbers. And it prints all the numbers in this array. Within this loop, we could have also modified these numbers. So I could have said numbers I is equal to numbers I into 2. So each number is being doubled, and let me just do a console.log numbers. So before the loop, let me print it and let me call it before changing and after. Let's now print it. Let's see what do we get. I have not defined length. That's the error. Line 5. Let me do it. Let len is equal to numbers dot length. Let's run this code again. So before changing, we have this as the array 2, 5, 10, 6, 4. And you can see after we executed this loop in which each number was doubled, the value has become this. We could have changed it to anything. I could have said numbers plus say 10. It can become like this. I could have said numbers into I. So it will change, or we could have said 200. All the numbers will become 200. So these are the ways we can go ahead and change these values. So let's look at a few problems and try and solve some sample exercises. Given an array of numbers, count the even numbers in the array. So we have been given an array of numbers and we have to count the even numbers in the array. So let's say we have a array of numbers, say nums, and the values are 2, 10, 14, 5, 7, 9, 6. What is our objective? To count the even numbers in this array. So let's say, so to count the numbers, I will need to iterate or loop through all the numbers. So let me find its length first. Let len is equal to nums dot length. I will put a loop for let I is equal to 0, I less than len, I plus plus. Now I need to count, so let me declare a variable count and initialize it to 0. So now I will check each number, and if it is an even, I will increment count. So I can say if nums I, that is my number, percentage 2, that is its remainder with 2, is equal to 0. This means this number will be even. If that is the case, what do I need to do? I just need to increment count. After my loop is over, I will just print count. So I can say console.log number of evens and count. Let's run this code. So it gives number of evens is 4. Let's see, 2, 10, 7, 14 and 6. Yeah, this is fine. Let's give it say 3, 5, 7. It gives me number of evens is 0. Perfect. Let me give it an empty array. That should be a test case I should run for. Number of evens is 0. Let's give an array which has only even numbers. So this is working fine. Let's look at the next problem. Given an array of numbers, calculate the sum of numbers divisible by 5. So we have been given an array of number. Let's say const numbers is equal to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now what do we need to do? We need to find the sum of the numbers which are divisible by 5. So let me define let sum is equal to 0, which is where we will add those numbers, and we need to iterate over the length. So we can say let len is equal to numbers dot len. Now let's loop over the numbers. So for let I is equal to 0, I less than len, I plus plus. We will check whether each number is divisible by 5. So if numbers I, that is my number, the value at index I, percentage 5 is equal to 0. This will tell us whether this number is divisible by 5 or not. If this is the case, then we should say sum is equal to sum plus numbers I. So we have added that value to sum. Now at the end of the loop, we should have the sum in sum. So let's print it. Console.log sum of multiples of 5 is sum. Let's run it. In this case, what should be the output? 5 plus 10, 15. Let's run it. Sum of multiples of 5 is 15. Good. Let's do another case. Let's say 2, 3, 4. In this case, what should be the sum? It should be 0. Yes. Let's say 5, 10, 15. What should be the value in this case? It should be 30. All the values are multiples of, let's say, we give it an empty array, we get 0. Given an array of strings, change each string to uppercase. So let's say we have this array strings, let's say hello, I, bye, and good. We need to change all these strings to uppercase. So for that, we will need to iterate over that loop. So let me say let len is equal to strings dot length, and let's iterate over the loop. So for let I is equal to 0, I less than len, I plus plus. Let str is equal to strings I. So we have found the string at the ith index. Now what do we need to do? We need to convert it into an uppercase and put it back. So we need to say strings I. So we will need to put it back is equal to str to uppercase. So we have converted it and we need to put it back. So we have done it. We have put it back with this line strings I is equal to this. Now that our loop is over, we can just do a console.log strings. Let's run this code. So we get hello, hi, bye, good. So we get exactly what we were looking for. Let's test it with, say, some other, an empty array, which is our default test case, which should always run. It's perfectly fine. A, B, let's run it. And it's working fine. Define a function which takes an array of numbers as parameter and returns true if there is a prime number in the array. So we need to define a function which takes an array of numbers as parameter and returns true if there is a prime number in the array. Let's see how do we do it. So function, let's say, has prime. It takes an array, so let's call it, it takes an array of numbers as parameter. And what should it do? Return true if it has any prime number. Otherwise, return false. So now we need to check whether each number in this array is prime or not. So let's say we define another function is prime, which takes one number as input, and what does it do? Return true if num is prime, and otherwise it return false. So let's say we define this function. Now what do we need to do in hasPrime? We can just go through each number and check whether that number is a prime or not using this function is prime, and then return it back. So let's say we have this function, let's assume we have this function is prime, and let's use it. So let me say let len is equal to numbers dot length. I need to iterate over each number. Let me now start iterating. For let I is equal to 0, I less than len, I plus plus. Now let me say let check is equal to is prime numbers I. So what am I doing? I am checking, I am calling this function is prime with the parameter as the numbers I, the number at the ith index. Now in check I will get true or false. So I can say if check is equal to true, which means like saying if check, because the condition is true, check will either have the value true or false. So I can say if check, then what do I need to do? I have found a prime, so I can return true. My job is over. If check is true, I will just return true and it will exit this for loop and the function. At the end of this loop, I would have checked all the numbers. Now if I've checked all the numbers and still not found a prime, which means there was no prime in this number, in this array, so I will just say return false. I can do this, and this function should give me the output that I was looking for. Now that this function has been defined, let me define this function is prime. So how should we do it? To check whether a number is prime or not, what do we need to do? It should have 0 factors between 2 and n minus 1. So between 2 and n minus 1, it should have no factor. No, a prime number has only 2 factors, 1 and itself. So let's do that. So let us say I will put a loop for let I is equal to 2. I need to start from 2. I less than equal to n minus 1. So I need to check till n minus 1. I plus plus. Now what can I do? I can say if num, this should not have been n, this should have been num. If num percentage I is equal to 0, which means I divides num. Now if I divides num, it means we have found a factor. I can just say return true, false. It's not a prime number because I found a factor. So because I have found a factor, it is not a prime number, so I will return false. And at the end of the loop, if I have not returned false, which means I did not find a factor, I can do a return true. So we can say this. So now we have defined this function is prime, and let me just delete our comments. So now that we have done it, let's check. So let me say let const number array, let's call it, is equal to 5, 10, 11, and let's say console.log has prime number array. So let me call that function has prime with the parameter number array and run it. And Does it have a prime? Yes, 11 has a prime, so it is returning true. Let us also check, put a console.log that for which number is it returning true. Console.log found prime, and which number did it find as prime? Numbers I. So putting these print statements or console.log help us figure out what's happening better. So it found a prime as 5. So 5 is a prime, yes. So it found a 5 here. Let me check this to 25 and run it. So it found a prime in 11 and returned true. Let's make this 11 to say 12. Now there should be no prime number, so false. So it did not find a prime number and it returned false. Whenever you are writing such code, it's good to also put a console.log in isPrime and check so that you are getting the correct outputs. Let's look at another problem. Given an array of strings, count the strings which have the alphabet small b or capital B in them. So what do we need to do? We have been given an array of strings and we need to count the strings with B or capital B in them. So there are two things we need to do here. One, count the strings with B or B. So we will loop over the array. Second, we need to find out whether a string has a B or B. So what we can do, suppose we have this function which gives us that whether a string has a capital or a small b, then we can just count the number of times it returns a true. So we can do that. So let's say we have a function has b which takes a string and it returns true if str has b or b, otherwise returns false. Now if I have this function, now I can loop over my strings and find out the value, count the number of times has b was true. So let me say, let's say our strings were const strings is equal to, let's say, I ball cab by, let's say, good. So let us say this is our array. Let's iterate over it. So let's say let len is equal to strings dot length, and let me iterate over it. So I can say for let I is equal to 0, I less than len, I plus plus. And for each string, I will check whether it has a has b or not using this function. So I need to also have a count wherein I'll keep on counting them. So I can say if has b strings I. So if I pass this parameter to has b and it returns true, which means I have found a b or a capital B in it, so I increment my count. And at the end of the loop, what I can do, I can just say console.log number of strings with B or B is count. So I can just do a console.log. Now what is left? I need to define this function. So let me delete this part here. Now to find whether a string has a small b or a capital B, we will check each character in the string. For that we will need to find the length of the string and go through each of them. So let me say let length of string is equal to str dot length. Let me loop over it for let I is equal to 0, I less than len str I plus plus. If let's say str I, if this character is a B or this character is a capital B, that means it has a has B now. If this stands for OR, this means if either this condition is true or this condition is true, it means it has a B. I can return true. I should return true, and when I return, it will exit this loop also. And if the code comes here, it means in this loop it could not return true, which means it did not find a B or a capital B. I should just return a false. So now I have defined my has B. So has B will return true if it found a small b or a capital B, otherwise it will return a false. Let's now run this code. We are getting an error at line 18. So in the condition we should have put a bracket here. Let's do that. So it says number of strings with B or B is 3. Let's see, ball yes, cab yes, buy yes. Let's change it. There is no string in which B is in between. Let's say ABA. If I run it, what do I get? Number of strings is 4. Good. Let's say we have strings which are not so high and good. 0. Let's give it strings, say BBBB. It's 2. Perfect. And let's give it an empty array to test it. The number of strings is 0. Let's look at some more important array functions. So push, unshift, pop, shift, which insert or remove an element at the start or the end of the array. Splice, which is used to remove array or add elements in between, and concat, which concatenates arrays. So let's see how do we use them. Let's suppose we have this array colors which has these 3 values, red, blue, green, and let me just do a console.log colors, and as we know, it will just print it. Now I want to add an element, or I want to add the color white to the end of this array. So what I can say is colors dot push white, and let me just print the array again, and let's see. So now you can see that the array now has 4 elements. An element has been added, and where has been added? At the end of the array. So after green, white has been added. Let's see if I want to add another. Let's say colors dot push yellow, and let me log it again. So yellow has been added to the end of the array. So what does push do? Push add or insert at the end. So this is what push does. Now if I want to insert at the start, so to insert at the start we use unshift. So unshift is what we use to insert at the start. So push we use to insert at the end, unshift we will use to insert at the start. So let me change these push to unshift, and let us see what do we get. So now when we did the first one, unshift, white has been inserted in the array but at the start, and then we did insert yellow again, unshift at the start. So this is how unshift works. So unshift will do insert at the start. Now just like we have push and unshift to insert, we have pop, which removes from the end. So I can say colors dot pop, and let me say console.log colors. So now it has two elements. Let me just do a console.log before the, so it had three elements, and after I popped it, one element has been removed. Which one? The last one. So green was the last element, so that has been removed. And what I can also say is let removed color, let's call it rem color, is equal to colors.pop. When that element is removed, it is returned into this. So I can also say console.log rem color. So I get green here. So green was removed and I get that value. So this is useful when I want to remove a value and use it. So colors.pop, the array will lose that element and I can use that value in rem color. I could have done the same thing again. So let me just copy this code and let's call it. Again, I am doing it. So now colors was red blue. So it removed it from the end, which means blue got removed. So rem color 1 is blue and we can see now colors is red. If I pop it again, it will remove the final element. I can just check it. Let's call it rem color 2. And the array has become empty and it has popped red. So pop removes from the end. Just like we have push and unshift, we have shift here, which removes from the start. So instead of pop, if I say shift and run it, what do I get? It has removed red. Red was at the start. So shift will remove from the start. Pop removes from the end. Shift will remove from the start. And I can keep on doing the same thing like I did. So let me remove again. So now which one should get removed? Should it be blue? Should it be green? Blue is at the start, so it should remove blue. So blue has been removed and colors is now green. And now if I remove it again using shift, it will remove this value and the array will become empty. Suppose we have this array of numbers which has these numbers in it. Now we want to insert or remove numbers somewhere in between. So for that we use splice to remove or insert elements anywhere in the array. So I could say numbers dot splice 2, 3, and let me just do a console.log numbers. So before doing it also, let me just put a console.log here. So what does it do? I had this array before 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now what it has done, it is saying from index 2. What did this say? From start index, remove these many elements. How many elements? We removed 3 elements starting from index 2. So index 2 was 8. So we removed 3 elements, 8, 9, 10. So now what is the array? It is numbers. And what also happens, I can say const removed array is equal to, and I can also console.log removed array. So the elements that are removed are returned as an array. So these were the elements removed, 8, 9, 10. So they have become this array rem array. Let's look at another value. Suppose I want to remove 4 elements starting from 7. So these are the 4 elements I want to remove. Now what is the starting index that it should start? What is the index of 7? It is 1. And how many elements I want to remove? 4. Let's do it. So now 4 elements starting from 7, which was the index 1, have been removed, and 6 and 11 is numbers, and these are the removed elements. Let's say starting from the start of the array, I want to remove 2 elements. So what should be removed? 6 and 7. Let's do it. So numbers is now 8, 9, 10, 11, and the removed elements are 6, 7. So we have seen how to use splice to remove. Let's see how do we insert elements using splice. So suppose we have this array strings. Now what I want to do is strings dot splice. After B, I want to insert some elements. So after B means before this index. So what is this index? I is 2. So before I don't want to remove anyone, which is 0, and I want to insert, say, C. Let's do a console.log strings, and let me do it just before we do it. So initially it was A, B, high, E. Now what has it become? A, B, C, high, E. So C has been inserted. Where has C been inserted? Before this index. So before the index that I said 2. So 2 was high, and I have inserted C. Suppose I say C, D. Now both these values, so all the values that I specify here will be inserted before the second element. Let's run it. So we get A, B, C, D, high, E. We could have also said, say, F, G, any number that we want. So they will keep on inserting them. So here we have specified 0, which means I don't want to remove. Typically it's a good idea to either insert or remove at the same time. Don't do both of them. So if you are inserting, keep this 0. So now you have specified where you want to insert and the values you want to insert. Let's say we have two arrays, strs1 strings 1 and strs2, which contain strings. And what do we need to do? We want to concatenate. So after the values of strs1, we want the values of the second array to come in. So we can say strs1 dot concat strs2, and this gives us a new array. So we can say const all strs is equal to strs1 dot concat. So after strs1, it will concatenate the values of strs2. Let me say console dot log all strs. Now if I run it, what do I get? I get that the values have been inserted, A, B, C, D, E, F. So they have been concatenated. And if I check my earlier arrays, they will remain the same. Let's do it. So these were our arrays, so they have remained the same, and we have now created a new array, all strs, which we have been able to create it. So concat is a important and a nice function which helps us concatenate these arrays. Suppose we wanted to have DEF first and ABC after it, so I could have said strs2 dot concatenate strs1. Now if I run it, I get DEF ABC. Suppose I wanted DEF and then DEF again, so I could have said strs2 dot concat strs2, which gives me DEF DEF. So these are multiple ways in which we can use it. Remember, unlike splice and push, pop and the other functions, the original array is not getting changed. So if I wanted that, suppose I wanted that I am doing strs1 dot concat and I want strs1 to now carry this value. So we don't have all str, so let me remove it. Now if I run it, I get a array that strs1 has already been declared. So let me correct it. Let me run it. It gives assignment to constant variable error. So we declared strs1 of type const. So like we have seen, with const we can change the values within the array, but we cannot change this variable. So if we want to do something like this, we will need to use let, because then strs1 becomes a variable which can be changed. Now if I run it, I get strs1 has become abcdef and strs2 remains def. So this is an important thing to be noted. When do we use const and when do we use let with arrays? So if we are using const, then that variable itself is not being changed, but the values within it we can continuously change like we saw. If we want to change the variable, we will typically use let, but in most cases the way we use it, const works fairly fine for us, and it also prevents an accidental change in the variable. So unless you want to change that variable, it's a preferred practice to use const. Let's look at some exercises. Given n, create an array with the numbers 1 to n. So we will use push and create this array. So suppose we have this n given, let's say it is 6. So we need to create an array. Let's say let n is equal to 6. We want to create this array, so let me call it, say, const nums is an empty array initially. So we can say for let I is equal to 1, I less than equal to n, I plus plus, and I can just do nums dot push I. So it will keep on pushing these values from 1 to 6, and now if I do a console dot log nums, I should get this array 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can check it for other values. Let me put it 3. It gives me 1, 2, 3. If I make it 0, it remains an empty array. Given an array of numbers, create a new array with numbers not divisible by 3. So we have an array of numbers which has been given to us, and we need to create a new array with the numbers that were not divisible by 3. So suppose this is an array which has been given to us. So we need to create another new array, nums no 3, let's call it, which is initially an empty array, and we will put in all the numbers in this array which are not divisible by 3. So what can we do? We can just say for let I is equal to 0, I less than nums dot length. So we will iterate over all the values in nums. We will check whether the value is divisible by 3 or not. If nums I percentage 3 is not equal to 0 is the condition we can say. So if this is not equal to 0, means it is not divisible by 3. What can I do? I can say nums no 3 dot push nums I. So in the new array, I will just push that value, and at the end of the loop, I can just run it. I can just print it console dot log nums no 3. Now if I run it, what do I get? I get 2, 4, 10, 11. So 3 and 12 have not been pushed into it. Let's check it for some other values. Let's say 3, 6, 9, 12. No value gets pushed, fine. Let's check it for 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. No value gets pushed. It has all the values, so because none of them are divisible by 3, let's check for an empty array. It's working fine. Given an array of strings, find hello and remove it from the array. So suppose we have this array of strings, and what do we need to do? We need to remove hello. So we need to find hello, find and remove hello. So we will use splice to remove it. So first we will find it, and then we will use splice to remove it. So how do we find it? We can put a loop for let I is equal to 0, I less than strings dot length I plus plus. Now let's find whether that string is hello or not? So if strings I equal to hello, that means we have found a hello. So we need to now remove it. So what can we say? We can say strings dot splice. Now which index? I, that is the index, and how many values we need to remove? We need to remove only one. So now that our job is over, we have found hello and done it, we will just do break. Break means now I need to get out of the loop, my job is over. I don't need to check more. So break is to break out of the loop. So now that I have broken out of it, I can now just say console.log strings. Let's run the code. So I get hi xy. If I say make this hello and remove this hello from here, what do I get? I get xy. If there was no hello in the string, in the array, this works fine. We should also check whether if it is at the end of the array and it's working fine, that's also working fine. Empty array case, let's check that also, and that's also working fine. Given an array of strings, find JavaScript in the array and insert Angular, React and Node after it in the array. So we need to find the location of JavaScript and then insert the three strings Angular, React and Node after that in the array. Let's say this is the array we have, text, which has some technologies in it. And what do we need to do? Find JavaScript. And then what do we need to do? Insert Angular, React and Node after JavaScript. So let's first find the location of JavaScript. So we can say for let I is equal to 0, I less than text dot length I plus plus. And then what can we say? If text I equal to JavaScript. So we'll do this comparison. Now we have found the location. So what do we need to do? We need to say text dot splice. What index do we need to put it? So insert happens before the index we give. So we should give I plus 1. And we don't want to remove. So we'll give a 0. And then what are the values we want to insert? Angular, React, Node. And in this case also our job is over. We have found JavaScript. So we will just break out of the loop. So break out of the loop. As our job is over, so we will just break out. Now we have done it. So we will just do a console.log text. Let's run it. So what do we get? We get C++, Python, JavaScript, and after them there is Angular, React and Node. Let's just put a print at the top. So this was the string initially, the array initially, and this has become there. Let's say if there was a value after JavaScript, is it working fine? So we had C and let's say Java. Let's run it. So this was our initial array. So now after JavaScript, Angular, React and Node have been inserted, and then we have C and Java. If JavaScript was the first element, let's say, will it work fine? Let's test it. Yes, it's working fine. If there is no JavaScript in the array, then what happens? It does nothing. The array, there is no insertion, so this is working fine. And our final test case, empty array, it's working fine.